The Jesus Trilogy, Book 2, Then There Were Two, Chapter 15. So how goes it, my fine fishing friends? Judas asked. Oh, we'll make it. Real sore, though. I would guess that would be the case. Fighting sea serpents is dangerous business. I hope you guys have learned your lesson. The hard way, Peter said as he entered the room. James and John were still in the hospital. James' fractured leg had been stabilized, but infection had set in. His broken leg was twice the size of the other. Dr. Luke said if things did not improve very soon, they would have to amputate. None of them knew what Dr. Luke meant by very soon. John's arm was also going to take a while to heal, but it had not gotten infected, at least so far. Dr. Luke said the bleeding was so heavy it may have washed out all the infection. He expected that John would be out of danger soon. Quite a story you fellas concocted, sea serpent and all. What really happened out there, Pete? Peter's face turned red, but not as red as John's. Listen, you little so-and-so, that interview Pete gave to Julie at the Gazette was true, every bit of it. We all three were there. If you don't believe it, I'll flatten you where you stand. Judas knew that even in his weakened state, John could do just that. John was what was termed ripped. The only person Judas knew that was stronger was Johnny, the fullback. He knew enough not to get either of them mad. However, the truth was no one believed their wild story. Only the town patriarch Amos gave it any credibility. The Sea of Galilee was deep and landlocked. Amos had heard tales from the fishermen of days long past who talked of sightings of sea serpents on the lake. Those did not approach the size of the one in John's story. The serpents were thought to live in deep water caves, but no one knew for sure. It was all speculation. Pete was known as a loudmouth and exaggerator, and despite Amos' words, no one believed him or the other two. The three fishermen were somewhat of a laughingstock in Nazareth, but the injuries were very real. However they got them, there was sympathy for the three. Now Peter's boat needed repairs, so they were most anxious to get the contract for the fish with Judas. They would somehow borrow the money to finance the boat repairs and get back to fishing as soon as their health would allow. I know things are tough right now, but I got the contract here if you are still interested and if you can deliver. No problem, Judas. We'll get online soon and get the fish to you and your boss's fish house very soon. What do you think? 3, 4 days or what? Peter's face turned red again, but John yelled, Get that guy out of here now. I'm not going to deal with a lying, cheating crook. John, Peter yelled, cool it. You cool it. Easy, bro, James said. Easy yourself. The guy doesn't believe us, and I don't believe him. No one can pay a shekel for 20 fish. Judas knew everybody was too fired up, but he had to tell them anyway. Boss says 25 per shekel. What? James said, now also very angry. Pete, he said 20. I heard him. You're a liar. Now hold on. Let's hear what he has to say. 25 is still good. My boss would only go 25. I'm sorry. It was my error. None of them had ever heard Judas apologize for anything, ever. All of them began to calm down. Well, what do you think, boys? 25 is a good price. We do need an outlet for our business. The union is strong. We can't survive without some outlet. Pete's right. The unions are powerful. The day of the independent is numbered, but my boss recognizes the quality of honest work like you boys do. Oh, John said somewhat resignedly. James nodded in agreement. A little smile tweaked the corner of Peter's mouth, but a great big one came to Judas' inner mouth. Where do I sign?